Hello, welcome and welcome back. This is Jacob and today we are going to be continuing the narration and character voice acting for the story A KAZDELIAN Rescue. Right then, part 2, so let's get on with the next two cards in the story and see what the hell is happening and meet some new characters, or rather a new character, with a couple of very interesting additions. But before we do any of that, considering this is going to be part 2, we're going to do a quick little recap here at the beginning as always. For those of you who want to skip it, you can find the timestamps as always down below in the pinned comment, and you can be right at the beginning of today's part. But before I do the recap as well, I want to just quickly address, because I saw the question pointed out, but I thought I was being at least clear enough, but to give you a time frame, everybody a time frame in years when this story is taking place, because we can at least extrapolate a tiny bit, even though the story so far, even in the parts today, does not give any kind of date yet. Maybe there will be something at the end of the story, I do not know yet. Maybe there will be something in IS5, because IS5 is taking place pretty much at the after this story finishes, so you know, there could be something there, but right now I have no idea when the exact year is. But I can tell you this for sure. This is taking place, like I said last time, after chapter 14 of the main story, which takes place in the year 1098, as a reminder. That chapter and chapters 13, 12, 11, and 10 all take place in a very short time span in the year 1098. While the other story that is important to this one, and it's the presence of Fremont, that pretty much signifies how much time has passed, it pretty much signifies that this is also taking place after Zwillingsturme. And Zwillingsturme took place in the year 1100, so 1100. Pretty much the beginning of a new century, essentially, on the calendar for them. And yeah, so this is taking place somewhere after Zwillingsturme, somewhere after the events of that story in the year 1100. Could even be the year 1101 from all I know. I don't know exactly when this is taking place in, but it's definitely after Zwillingsturme and after chapter 14, and that pretty much just tells you that there has been at least a 2-year gap between this story and the ending of chapter 14. We see the military commission there. They don't really tell us much more outside of that, that they are here. With Manfred and Vishadel as well on the airship, and that's about it. There will be a bit more today, a bit interesting stuff presented as well in the story, but you guys will see when we get to that. That I don't want to spoil, but yeah, you'll see. But yeah, anyway, hopefully this helps. So yeah, remember, this is like at least 2 years after chapter 14, and either some weeks or some months after Zwillingsturme. Maybe even a year after Zwillingsturme, I don't know. That I don't know exactly. That I'm just speculating on because Fremont is present. Or rather, all the liches are present. But yeah, anyway. Let's do the quick little recap as always. And like I said, you can skip that by just hitting the timestamp down below. But anyway, on the previous part, we began the story with the usual kit and caboodle with the introduction of both characters and our plot for the story. The setting is, a very obvious one, it is Kazdel, and the time frame, it's, like I just said, so that I don't repeat myself again, but the story is pretty simple for now. Fremont is present together with all of the liches, and they are tasked to undertake a ritual that will placate the Revenants in the Soul Furnace. The end result seems to be that it will be setting the Revenants free from the Soul Furnace and I guess also appeasing their anger. In what way, I do not know, but that's how it's presented so far. But as a quick reminder, the Soul Furnace is kind of like the primary energy and heat distributor for Kazdel itself, and it's getting that energy from pretty much burning the Revenants themselves inside it, because they are kind of indestructible, I guess, and they are kind of exuding an energy out of them, so they're a good fuel? Ow. No wonder they're pissed. But yeah, anyway, Nymph, in the meantime, is tasked with keeping away people from one of the smaller furnaces in the city. that are distributing both energy and heat to the different districts. But that task is proving to be a bit more difficult than it is on paper. Meanwhile, the military commission, as said, is in the city and is floating above in their airship. With them is obviously the Revenant that was once upon a time fully tied to the airship, but now is part of the guns that are floating around Vishadel. And of course that means that Vishadel is also present with the Revenant on the ship. Vishadel then brings the Revenant in front of the other Revenants, and they all start to argue. Well, our Revenant is being quite chill and peaceful at first, and the others are obviously very angry at him, as this Revenant in the guns of Vishadel is the very one that put them in the Soul Furnace at one point in time, and they are just venting their anger at him. But they also start laughing at him because of his current predicament being tied to those floating guns, and they even spit into his face with a puff of cloud of smoke, essentially, and ash, which pisses off Vishadel, but most importantly pisses off the Revenant, who is still tied to the ship and decides to point the guns of the airship at the furnace and fires, provoking an explosion in the furnace, producing some beautiful firework, but at the same time is distributing all of the, or not all of the, but some of the fragments of the furnace across the city. And some of those fragments contain Revenants that are attached to them. One of them accidentally lands on top of Nymph's head and immediately starts influencing her thoughts and changing them without Nymph realizing herself for a brief moment. But thanks to Ermengard, the fragment is contained, and thanks to Ermengard once more, Nymph will be now tasked with going around through the city, and with the gizmos given to her by Ermengard, will be finding and containing the fragments and then delivering them back to the furnace. So she goes around the city essentially, and eventually runs into a person by the name of Paul. This person is a consultant essentially in the city, and has been a consultant for a long while for the local gangs, essentially mediating between them and helping them organize themselves when need be. And with this help, she gets her hands on yet another fragment, and Paul in the meantime manages to stop a couple of gangs from pretty much rampaging in the city, and from here on these two will be essentially working together and trying to find the rest of the fragments. And also, as a bonus mention, good old Tin Man is in the city, and he is doing something, I guess. I have no idea what he's doing yet there, but he is there. He's appearing in scenes, and he's just passing by for now. I have no idea what his goal in the city is, but we'll see. But yeah, anyway, that is where we left off. So then, let's continue on with the next two cards. So, today we're gonna go through the third and fourth card, so the linen-draped monster and unfinished attitude. So, let's begin with the first one, the linen-draped monster.
My stuff is different from theirs. I picked everything nice and careful. Look at the quality. How could you give me the same price?
No difference. 3.
How about this? I got another handful of pure iron in my pocket. No originium mixed in at all. I'll add it to the pile for a piece of your bread.
No.
Who do you think you are, old man? 3 potatoes for 3 full baskets of our iron scrap? Did you burn your conscience in the furnace too?
My bread is pure white flour. You're not getting it for a handful of slag. Get lost. Next. 2 baskets. Put it on the scale. 2 sweet potatoes. Grab it from the ash. Don't try to swipe any. I guarantee you I'll know. I told you to get lost, Beansprout. You're in the way.
You're not the only furnace keeper in this city, old man. If you won't take this, someone else will.
You can have this entire batch of bread if you get more than 3 sweet potatoes from anybody else, you dumb slug.
Everybody heard that! No takebacks! Fuck me. They just keep getting worse. The furnace keeper this side's only giving 2, and it's cellar leftovers from last year. How am I supposed to make a living? My back's hurting from gathering this stuff all night. It's not even worth a day of food. Anyway, I'm not going back to the old man. Maybe I should check out the market on the east side. But the path east would take me past those shacks. The old folks say they dumped broken bodies there during the war, and there are still ghosts who couldn't get back to the myriad souls. No. Only kids are scared of ghost stories. Of course I'm not scared. Just a dark alley and a few abandoned shacks.
He makes up his mind and pushes his rickety cart forward, around scattered piles of firewood and puddles toward the narrow and winding alley. A dark borderline cuts open the path ahead. In front is the area in the shadow of the soul furnace. The gaunt man slows his steps and covers the cart with his jacket.
It's just around the corner. How is it so cold at midday? What's with the weather these days? Did something move? Who's there? Who said something? This place has been abandoned for ages. What's that sound? A blade being sharpened? Meat being cut? Fuck. I'll just run through with my eyes closed.
The cart crashes into a wall, just as he's about to get out of the shadow of the furnace. No, not a wall. His eyes run across gray-white metal as he looks up, until they meet a pair of crimson-red counterparts.
Ghost!
Sorry, I think I'm lost. Are you alright?
Are you blind? Did you see my cart? Sorry, my fault. See ya! No, just stay there. Don't move. What's up with the weather? How is it so hot when I don't even see the sun? I'm soaked with sweat. So many weirdos in town these days. You again? I thought you went west.
A pair of blood-red eyes rise slowly from the shadows in a corner, rising above the Sarkaz's head, above the shacks by the wayside, above the wilted trees. The heavy figure turns slowly, emerging from the furnace's shadows. The tattered linen cannot hide the gray-white cracks, but they fill the Sarkaz's vision.
It's true. Oh, fuck.
The young Sarkaz's eyes roll into his head. He lets go of his cart and falls unconscious to the ground.
Let's take a break. There's water over there to wash your face.
Well, I got dirt all over my face, but at least we have something to show for it. If nothing else, we got that huge rock out of the construction site.
Who would have thought that only a thin outer layer is iron and the rest is just ash? Where do we go next?
To the east side is the market. You can find all sorts of stuff there, but they close early, and it's practically a ghost town by the time the furnace's shadow rises above the east wall.
Don't step on my writing practice, Nymph! Oh, sorry, Sherry. Does your grandpa have you watching the fire by yourself again? He said he was going to work at the construction site. He always comes back stinky and falls right asleep. Doesn't even tell me any stories. Hey, Nymph, since you're here, how are these words?
You're, practicing writing on the ash? But it's...
Fresh furnace ash is very clean. Great work, Sherry. You got all the words I taught you last time right. I should give you a treat.
I've got a candy here.
Candy? But I don't want candy. I'm afraid that... Afraid of what? that the monster in the alley might take it. Over there, that haunted alley. They say ghosts come for you if you get close to the shacks. They follow you and snatch your stuff when you're not looking.
You must be joking.
It's real. A lot of people have run into them. Some lost their candy, others lost the linens they put out to dry. They say the ghosts don't target you if you don't carry anything good.
They probably got robbed by some thugs and were too embarrassed to tell the truth.
Don't play with this guy, Nymph. He's bad, he won't believe me.
Alright, don't cry. You say a lot of people saw the, ghost?
Yeah, ask Beansprout if you don't believe me. He just ran into one.
Yes, it was 3 stories tall, wrapped in bandages and bleeding from its eyes.
Wait, didn't you say there were flames coming out from all over? Don't the bandages catch fire?
Yeah, ghost fire. It's cold, so it doesn't burn. Alright. Go on. What else is there to say? What else could I do? I did a backflip in midair and dodged the ghost fire, then aimed for its eyes with a handful of iron scrap. The monster never saw it coming.
Backflip? Just yesterday you said your back was hurting and asked me to carry your firewood to your door.
It must be a natural. It felt like the energy just kept flowing out from inside me. We should ask someone else. Don't! No one else can tell it half as good as me. They all fainted when they saw that thing and ran for their lives without looking back when they came to their senses. They even left the carts they borrowed at the scene. What would they know?
You're not talking about yourself, are you?
What if I am? You got a problem with me. I'm not afraid of you. We really don't have time for this. Quit babbling and spit it out.
Paul, consultant. He just ran into something real scary. Don't be too hard on him.
Consultant? You're the consultant? Oh, I'm so sorry. I wouldn't have skipped anything if I knew the consultant was here to interrogate me himself. I wouldn't call it an interrogation. It's those haunted shacks on the east side. I'm sure you know them. I ran into it there. It was crouched in a corner at first, so I didn't notice. But then I took a closer look at... It was wrapped in linen with blood-red eyes, twice as tall as me, and it was grinding its teeth as it was walking. I was so scared I fainted right there. I was still in one piece when I woke up, so I thought I was dreaming at first. But then I reached behind my head and felt the bump where I hit it. See? It's right here. That's fine. I don't need to see it. You think that's the monster we're looking for, Nymph?
We better go and see if the detector responds. It's not far.
Nymph, consultant, that's the whole truth. Whatever you lost, it really wasn't me. Life's hard enough as it is.
Don't worry, we're not here to give you trouble. But you should get your card back, or else I can promise you that Big Head won't give you trouble.
The young Sarkaz' smile freezes. He pats his own head in chagrin, only to hit the fresh bump and grimaces in pain. Can I ask one more favor, Nymph? Here's the shack he was talking about. It's been abandoned for ages, though. Is your detector reacting?
No. Are we looking in the right place?
More likely the kid lied. Does she know there are Sarkaz ashes in the pile she's riding in? I'd guess no. You protect her well.
Is that protecting?
Of course it is. Anyway, it would be pretty embarrassing if we got tricked by a kid. But we're here, and if it really is the work of some thug, we might as well take care of him. Come in, there's no... Oh. Nymph is about to speak when she sees a blade pressing against the back of Paul's neck. The blade is blunt and chipped, but The hand is surprisingly steady, pressing against Paul's neck 3 centimeters beneath his ear, without the slightest movement. Nymph, don't. The Jarl has drawn her staff. The art's wave emanating from it does not dissipate at Paul's words and continues to intensify. He won't kill me. You wanna bet?
Put the blade down!
It's alright, trust me. No need for bets here. After all... Ugh! I can handle one wounded warrior on my own. Your hand is bleeding, but it's not Sarkaz blood. Who are you?
This is my home. You don't get to ask who I am.
No, this is Kazdel, home of the Sarkaz. Let me see your face. Haven't I seen you before? In the settlement outside the city. You were smuggling out food with, Mudrock was the name, I think.
Mudrock? I think I've heard mention of the name before. Are you with Rhode Island?
If you know our boss, can you help me up? I can barely move my arm.
This is the 3rd time I've said it. They're not smugglers. They went to work for food at a construction site. Why didn't I go?
I would have, if not for this arm.
If you're not smugglers, why did you come into the city while hiding in a haunted shack?
Where else can I stay? This is the only place where no one bangs down the door at night. You can't sleep at night in crowded areas, and you can't even go out during the day without someone tearing down the door for firewood.
There was a Cabernet thief who cut his horns short, stealing steel and bricks from the construction site. Is he with you?
Definitely not. Why would I do something so stupid? Cutting my horns to pretend to be Sarkaz.
Not much better living in a haunted house and pretending to be a ghost.
We never pretended to be ghosts. Don't blame us when stupid people fool themselves.
Your friends weren't at the construction site to steal bricks and steel?
What a joke. I'm not even Sarkaz and I know that's impossible. Are you seriously suspecting a child of soil and stone of stealing bricks and tiles?
Child of soil and stone? That Mudrock's a gargoyle? I never noticed.
It would make sense. Last time I saw Mudrock, she was working on houses outside the city, helping infected from elsewhere start new farms.
Then again, why do you have to come into the city? Is there something you have to be here for, when you have a child of soil and stone helping you?
Before we talk about the fact that it was Mudrock's decision to come into the city to begin with, what gives you the right to question us? You think we're afraid of the Sarkaz in the city?
No, we're afraid of you.
When is your boss coming back? We can't wait all day.
She would normally be back by now, but without me and with the colossi gone, it might take another hour or so.
Let's wait. I need to see their boss. They can't stay here in the city. It's too dangerous.
You speak Sarkaz very well, sir. Is that a Lithanian accent? What's your name?
Save it.
Alright, Mr. Save It. Would you please move inside a little? I would like to sit down too. The sun sets little by little. Nymph looks at the detector in her hand. It is unclear what she is thinking. Paul stands up and sits down again, then stands up again, finally ducking down into a crouch, counting the gravel on the ground. The shadow of the furnace passes over the east wall, blood from the wound seeps through the new bandages and coagulates. The infected with the injured arm stands up, draws the knife that he left standing on the ground, and peers at the shadow outside.
I'm going to look for them. You coming?
Do you know which construction site they went to?
No, I'll check all of them if I have to.
you're just going to march through the streets like that? A wounded outsider. How about this? I'll go with you, and if anyone asks...
Shh. Paul is still staring at the gravel. He has separated into 4 piles, sorted by color and size, which now tremble and collapse in a unique rhythm. They're back.
Mudrock. They found it.
Thump, thump, thump. The heavy footsteps stop at the entrance to the alley. Nymph and Paul soon hear up the faint sounds of metal scraping, the sound of blades being drawn.
Mudrock! I'm alright!
The child of soil and stone walks out from the corner, seemingly oblivious to her friend's call and making no motion in particular, but the infected who follow her put away their weapons. Mudrock walks into the battered shack and throws her shovel in a corner.
Come in. Sit. Rope.
The 3 statements flow from Mudrock's mouth in the same tired tone, virtually no interruption. Nymph sits down on the stool opposite Mudrock. The infected stream into the room, leaving behind 2 holding a rope that stretches into the alley.
Adyal? Hello, Mudrock. Yes, I'm Adyal. My name's Nymph. My mom and dad are both Yai. I don't know if you've seen my sister at Rhode Island.
They are here?
Well, no. I came to...
She's trying to chase us out.
Don't interrupt, Stick. Go on.
We came looking for something. Someone ran into a terrifying monster near this shack, and we suspect it has something to do with what we're looking for. My guess is that it's just a misunderstanding. There's no monster at all.
I know what you mean. We're the monster. That's how the Sarkaz here see us.
No, that's not what I mean. The Sarkaz here aren't much different from those in the settlement outside. They're here because they don't have anywhere else to go. As far as monsters go, Sarkaz have been treated as monsters by other races for as long as Kazdel has stood. You must know what I mean, Mudrock. Please explain to them.
Probably not a misunderstanding.
What?
The monster. Did it look like that?
Hey, a hand?
Who? Me? Okay. What the heck is that?
Hold it tight! Drag it in! 1, 2, 1, 2!
With the rope tied around their waists, the infected wrap it around their shoulders and pull with all their strength. Paul looks with astonishment at the being being pulled out from the shadows. It is about twice as tall as a man, its eyes blood red, draped in tattered white linen, with metal wires and ropes tied tightly around it. The monster.
Tie it up!
What? How? Where? You sure about this? That thing could collapse this rickety shack with a single kick.
Just listen to Mudrock. Tie it up!
How did you catch it? Whatever this thing is.
The detector is vibrating. Is that your colossus, Mudrock?
Yeah, I saw it by the road on the way back. It was working just fine yesterday, maybe a little slow, but nothing was broken. Then it suddenly ran out in the middle of the night and wouldn't come back. Couldn't sense it with arts either. It's like something was interfering. Do you know what's going on?
Maybe it's under the influence of a Revenant fragment.
Revenant? What do they have to do with it?
Well, actually, can I see the colossus first?
Be careful. It lashes out at anyone. All my guys here have taken a few hits.
Did it break Styx's arm?
No, he broke it in a fight over some work at the construction site.
Come on, Mudrock. You wouldn't stand up for me back there, and now you're doing this in front of some outsiders.
Did I not stand up for you? I took all his work. He spent the whole day in the sun without getting a single grain of corn.
Anything else I should know about the colossus?
It seems to be scared of me. It runs away as soon as it sees me. I would have caught it a long time ago, if I wasn't worried that it would topple the furnace if it got into the plaza. Nothing else really, Nymph. It's Nymph, right? Be careful, if it was the Revenant that made it go berserk. There are many Djai in Kazdel. I don't want to get one hurt as soon as I met her.
Alright, thanks for the advice.
Nymph takes out her detector and cautiously approaches the colossus. 1 step, 2 steps. As she takes the 3rd step, the detector emits a screeching alarm. So that's it.
No, it's not. It's there.
The Djal points to a crack on the colossus. A piece of rubble seems to have gotten lodged in it. It is fixed to the colossus like a hateful eye, no matter how the colossus struggles.
I sense something strange.
It's pain that has lasted centuries. Hatred that has lasted 100 times longer. This is a Revenant fragment, Madrock. I think that's why it went berserk. People were attacked, but not injured. I didn't think about why that was, but now I think it just doesn't hurt the Sarkaz.
I see. The Revenant are like Kazdel. They reject anyone who isn't Sarkaz.
We need to get the fragment out. Can you help me, Madrock? You created this colossus. You should be able to control it. Make it stay still. Just a little while will do.
Okay.
Mudrock raises a hand to the colossus. It seems to feel a threat and struggles even harder. The metal wires begin to break where they have been weakened by rust, stirring up clouds of dust as they hit the ground. The red glow in the colossus's eyes grows brighter, and all present hear a cold, eerie voice in their heads.
Oppression! Rage! Banish! Banish! Banish!
All you see is hatred. You could not even tell Sarkaz from outsider. You still raise your fists? That is not what a Revenant should be. Alright then. Let it go.
Are you out of your mind? Got it. Scatter on count of 3. 3, 2, 1.
Banish! Kazdel, for Sarkaz only!
What are you then? You're not a Revenant or a gargoyle. You're just a broken arts creation. Shouldn't you get out of Kazdel too?
Madrock, look out!
The colossus begins to emit smoke from every crack and fissure. It seems to grow larger, raising a right fist that has almost grown to the size of the shack. It is about to bring it down on the young Sarkaz. The Djal staff starts to glow. She looks into the colossus's eyes and resolutely recites a few words in Sarkaz. The red light in the construct's eyes grows dimmer with each word. The shadows behind Nymph become increasingly sinister, as though ready to leap from the gravel at any moment. An instant before the shadow pierces the ground, Mudrock grabs her hand and snaps her fingers. The arts that hold the colossus together are dispelled, and the construct collapses into a pile of gravel and stone. The fist that it tried to bring down turns into a strong gust of wind. Before the dust settles, the faint yellow sunlight has wiped away the last vestige of the sinister shadow.
can find my way from here.
It's okay. I'm going to Rhode Island's branch office here to report on the Revenant anyway. We're going the same way. Is it safe to put it in that little box?
Totally safe. It's Lichcraft. As for you and your friends, I know the guard on duty today. I can have him sneak you out of the city without drawing attention.
Why should we leave?
Just like that colossus, there are a lot of people here who won't tolerate an outsider living next door. Your people need to eat and sleep, but it's not any easier to come by in the city.
Maybe I didn't bring them here just to eat and sleep. In the past, not so long ago, there were more than just Sarkaz in this city. People came from far away to teach, heal, build. They weren't here just to eat and sleep.
You mean Babel? But they left, and you know as well as I do why they left. It was just a dream, like the kind you get when you're running a fever. I'm glad it was part of my childhood, but it wasn't always a good thing for Kazdel and the Sarkaz. Kazdel is fragile. It can't handle anything like that happening again.
Are you speaking for yourself, or for all Sarkaz? Kazdel is not so fragile, from my point of view, and the Sarkaz have never been that fragile. The bad can be avoided. The good will always be good. There are things that Kazdel has to face. Kazdel is the last hope for some people, and they can't live in the settlement outside the city forever.
You're Sarkaz. Your friends aren't.
They trust me, like I trust Amia.
Amia. Rhode Island. I've heard about your ideals. They're attractive. Now I'm more curious. What is Rhode Island like?
You can come with me to see Amia. It's not far, just past that street.
She's in Kazdel? Let me do this first though. I said I would, and the one I promised... I'd rather not get on their bad side.
Nymph waves the box. The spinning rocks within make no sound. Mudrock nods and walks toward the furnace. You done chatting?
Yeah. Where do we go next?
I would say the market on the east side, but they're long done for the day. Why don't we call it quits too? But I feel like I forgot something. What could it be?
Oh no! Beansprout's cart!
Isn't Nymph back yet? I'm gonna get a bump bigger than Big Head's head if he comes back first.
What are you worried for? Nymph always comes through. Look, over there! Nymph!
My cart! Thank goodness! Isn't there someone to thank besides goodness? Thank you so much! The ghost didn't catch you, did it?
Stop scaring Sherry with those ghosts and monster talk. Just some thugs up to no good. The consultant taught them a lesson. But the homes there are in disrepair, and the roads are really narrow. You should avoid the place. Really? But they saw a bunch of people getting chased around by the monster from one end of the city wall to the other. Maybe the ghost is after you, Nymph. Maybe you should teach me a few more words today, just in case you can't come tomorrow. I'll be fine, don't worry.
She's got a special way of showing concern. It's getting late. I should head back before the broken horns start getting ideas without me around. Meaning that Mother gave me an idea. Do you think some of the fireworks might have fallen outside the city? How about this? I'll touch base with smugglers outside tomorrow, and take a look around the military commission garrison while I'm at it.
Alright, I'll check out the East Market. If you find anything, call me immediately. Don't put yourself in danger.
No problem. See you later.
Big Head, what happened to your hand? It's all swollen.
Oh, big guy, here's your cart.
Just leave it over there.
Well, if there's nothing else, I'll be gone.
Get lost. I'm too tired to deal with your crap right now.
I thought you were going to punch me. Did you not eat at all today, Big Head? Why this sullen look?
What did you just call me?
Why is the front of the car dented and the handle cracked?
Come here. Let me hear you loud and clear.
Please, no, help, mercy! And there we go. That is how Modrock fits into this story. As a reminder, I already said it I think in a previous episode, but Modrock had recently gotten her own operator record. If you have Modrock on your account, I would suggest reading it because it does take place probably sometime before this this incident, because it does depict Modrock and the people that are with her as they are settling themselves around the city and trying to, you know, trying to pretty much get a hold of the city and establish a relationship essentially with the people of Kazdel. There is also a very surprising guest that appears in the story. It was nice to see that person appear, so I will leave it at that. I will also link in the description and down in the comment section, because I have uploaded it on the channel, that operator record. So for those of you who want to see it and don't have Modrock, you can do so. Just look at the comments down below, or rather on the pinned comment with the timestamps. It will be linked in there, and like I said, in the description of the video. But yeah, I would recommend it. It was pretty good and decent, and decent operator record. But yeah, damn, that Revenant being lodged into that golem. Whew, that was a very angry one, and that thing was in a very stupidly strong object. Whew. I guess at least it didn't go after the Sarkaz themselves. It was still protecting the city and keeping the Sarkaz safe, but yeah, that thing was dangerous. But yeah, anyway, that is this part, so let's proceed on to our next one and see who would this new character be and who she has contact with. But anyway, unfinished attitude. Let's begin.
What is it, Ermi?
How's your progress after 2 days?
I found lots of them. Well, okay, just 2 actually, but don't you worry. I'll have it all wrapped up in no time. Why? What's the matter?
Nothing really. The old man suddenly remembered this little mission of yours, so he's been pestering me about it. We thought these fragments would be causing chaos all over Kazdel, but for the time being, things seem normal as ever. Nobody's knocking on the military commission's door about it, and we haven't detected any abnormalities either.
All thanks to me being the first to run into them.
Basically, feel free to keep going at your own pace.
Is that all?
Yep, that's all. Just remember, safety first. If you run into anything you can't handle, give me a call.
Sure, will do. Thanks, Ermi. Ermi's thoughtful as ever, even while she works. I should probably pick up the pace.
So, what do you want to eat?
Oh, sorry. Let me have a look. I'll try this one. Is this a new recipe?
Just break dough, same as always. Pretty sure I've seen you eat here before too.
But the taste is different now. It's chewier than last time. Maybe even a little bit sweet.
Really? Maybe my ingredients are better this time around. More and more folks have been coming back lately, and I got ways to get quality stuff at a lower price. Dough gets nicer, that's a bonus.
Then do you still need any help negotiating prices?
Nah, an old merc customer of mine put me in touch with a better supplier. They've got reasonable prices, and they're a friendly bunch. No need to trouble yourself any longer.
Happy to hear that. Does this mean one day you could make white bread like they do in Victoria?
You little glutton. What's so great about white bread? Next time you got time, I'll cook you up some grilled meat.
Really? Grilled meat. Can I have 3 more buns of the dough to go? I'll eat them on the road.
Sure, just give me a second, I'll give you some fresh out of the oven.
Thank you. I've gotten so much done over the last few days. I think I deserve a little treat for myself. Nothing beats a full berry.
Nymph glimpses a Sarkaz out of the corner of her eye, not on purpose, of course. Any passerby would find themselves turning their head. It would be hard not to. She stands motionless, leaning against her cane with her top-headed head held high. Here, where most are disheveled and scruffy looking, a woman like her is a rare sight indeed.
Here, your dough.
Oh, thanks.
First time laying eyes on her?
I don't think I've ever seen anyone quite like, her.
She wasn't always this way. Not sure when she went mad, left Kazdel to make a name for herself, came back looking like this.
Oh, well, even so, she does look pretty nice.
What's the point of looking nice? Can't sell a thing if you just stand there all day.
She sells baked dough too?
As if. She makes jewelry out of garbage. Some odd gewgaws too, like a transparent glass witchcraft orb with a model of Kazdel inside, or cups etched with strange patterns. It's all expensive, fragile stuff. Only a fool would buy any of it. Heard she's got ornaments and statues on top of all that. Even less business on those. Can't get any use out of them most days, and so expensive too. Don't know what she's thinking. Everyone around has been telling her, but she won't listen to a word of it.
I don't think it's a bad thing, getting to see someone dressed up so pretty on the street every day.
I just hope she earns enough to feed herself. It'd be some terrible joke if she starved to death in front of my stall, right?
I see where you're coming from. I better get going. See you!
Be seeing you, Nymph. Bring some friends next time.
I will. Bye-bye. Now that I'm full, I should get back to work. She's so pretty. Is that how they dress in Victoria? Those fabrics look really expensive. And there's that brooch of hers with those purple and red gems. Once I'm done with this job and I get my reward from Ermi, I'll go have a look at her stall. Wait, there's one here? No way, there was no response just a moment ago. Where is it then? Wait. That brooch with the purple and red gems?
Nymph feels a sudden tickle up her spine. She turns to look at the stall devoid of customers. But no one is there. The beheaded stall owner has long since packed up her wares and disappeared into the endless stream of people flowing through Kazdel.
Ermi, please pick up, it's urgent. What now? If she's only wearing all the jewelry because she's possessed, then she... There's no time. I'll go looking for her first. Hello. Do you know where the lady who runs the stall went off to? The one wearing a suit and top hat. A suit of what? Oh, she's wearing really strange clothes and selling stuff no one wants to buy. She went that way? Okay, thank you. The baked dough? I got it from the stall over on the corner. Here, have some. If you like it, make sure you go to that stall. I'm almost out of the city at this point. What did she come here for? What's the detector say? A very weak reaction, but it's still here, alright. I'll just have to check over everything. It's here. A warehouse? She lives here? No way, why would someone wearing such nice clothes live here? Maybe it's because of the Revenant fragment? I can't reach Ermi, and Paul's looking for fragments somewhere else. Come on, Nymph. Think. There's got to be a way. Hypnosis, mental suggestion, Originium arts. Maybe I could snatch it away?
Hello, young lady. Did you need me for something?
Sorry, let me think a bit longer.
Very good, ma'am.
Hello?
Crowny Mantel, elegance extraordinaire. A pleasure to meet you. Now, how may I be of service?
Could you sell me that brooch?
Why?
Because I really like it.
Oh? Well, I'm terribly sorry, ma'am, but it is not for sale. Moreover, I'm afraid it's not suited to your ensemble. I have here an adornment much more appropriate for a rose such as yourself. If your need is dire, I could give it to you.
Sorry, I'm only interested in a brooch.
Nymph looks into Crowny's eyes. Her arms hang by her sides as her fingers sway lightly at an unusual frequency, tracing complex patterns in the air. They are reflected in Crowny's pupils, but as she blinks, they are gently wiped away. It seems they have not dug deep into her heart as Nymph expected.
I'm afraid that's not possible. I will not part with this gem before finding a suitable replacement. Now, I have some pressing business to attend to, so I'm afraid I cannot entertain you any longer. On your way now.
Nymph waves her staff and chants softly.
Please wait a moment and hear my plea.
Nymph projects her arts with all her will, and they descend gently upon Crowny. 1 second, 2. Her target continues to walk away.
No effect? She's wearing the fragment. Getting around the Revenants' influence on her sure isn't easy. This is a really stupid way to do it, but... I'm sorry.
Forgive me, Madame Dial, but I'm in a hurry. Please, don't block my way.
Huh? Ermi, please answer! Ermi! Arts don't work, I can't fight her and I can't snatch it away. She's not normal Hawker. Just follow her for now, Nymph. Let's see where our ancestor wants to take her. Even if something happens, I can at least give more info to Ermi. It's not like she's going to go all the way out of the city, right? We're on the outskirts already. Where's she going? Maybe she really is leaving the city? I should contact the Liches at the gates then. Ermi gave me their info. They should be able to get the fragment for me. Where'd she go? Wait, what?
Nymph watches as Crowny opens her own box, drawing out a hang glider from the depths within. One hand grips the cane hooked onto the glider's frame, while the other holds the box tight. With her characteristic ramrod straight figure dangling from the glider, she swoops off into the distance.
Can a Revenant fragment really do all that? I guess I should, forget it. Ermi's being awfully unreliable right now. Wait, how about I...
Nymph hems and haws for a while as she watches the glider float away, but in the end she makes up her mind. She inserts the tip of her key into the keyhole on her staff. It breaks apart, turning into a swarm of keys surrounding her. She grabs one and opens the bag at her waist, the keys immediately splitting into two groups as she does so. One flock of keys attaches to her staff, rapidly spinning like a drone's rotor wing. The others act as platforms under Nymph's feet, holding her afloat despite gravity's pull. Standing in midair is an extremely strange experience. Drifting off wherever the wind blows, watching the familiar sights behind slowly shrink away. Until the jagged edges of Kazdel having faded into fuzziness under the gentle light of the sun. Then, with the breeze in the back and the wind ahead, a moment's distraction means toppling to the ground.
Here, use my handkerchief to wipe your sweat.
Thanks.
I must admit, I have never seen anyone act so recklessly. You are inexperienced with those arts, are you not?
Yes. If it hadn't flown by to catch me, it'd be a big splat on the ground. Thank you for the hanky.
Oh, don't mention it.
Do you always use your glider to leave the city?
It's quick, convenient, and graceful. A most beautiful method of transportation. I was inspired by the cable cars plying Kierak's snowy peaks.
You've been to Kierak?
I will have been one day, but for now, the pictures in a newspaper will suffice. You should head back home immediately, young Djal.
What a strange ancestor. Why is he in such a hurry to leave Kazdel? And why bring Crowny along? Oh, there's no signal here. Guess you're on your own, Nymph. Your big adventure begins here. Oh, thank goodness she's finally stopped. It looks like she's not leaving Kazdel just yet.
In the distance, Crowny takes a deep breath, then yells a strange incantation.
Come on out, suffering!
Suffering? Is that some kind of incantation? It might be a name of a Sarkaz king. It wouldn't be strange for an ancient king to have a name like that.
If you insist, old buddy. Long time no see.
A Sancta? His plan involves a Sancta? What the heck is he up to?
I can see you, little Djal. No need to hide behind a rock. Come on out. Why is your apprentice being such a stranger? She's not. I believe there might be some misunderstanding at play here. She has been following me for quite some time now. If you keep wandering around with that brooch on, I think you'll face end up on an arrest warrant real quick. I'll take it under advisement, Mostima. May I see the goods I ordered? But of course.
Mostima gingerly places the box she's carrying between the two of them.
3 bolts of top quality soft silk straight from Yan, just like you asked. Go ahead, inspect all you like. This is... I can feel it. This subtle pushback when you press down on it. This suppleness, this pure white.
I guess he really does want to leave Kazdel. He's even got a bunch of supplies ready. Huh? Where did Sancta go?
Hey, little y'all. Nice weather today, isn't it?
Stay back! I'm a caster. I've got really, really super strong arts.
Oh, what a coincidence. As it turns out, I'm a caster too. Makes us counterparts, don't you think?
But I am...
It's fine, it's fine. You look reasonable enough. Not the type to attack a defenseless messenger like me for no reason. I'll take your silence as a good sign. Crown is gonna need a while longer to check out her haul, so I'll get some fresh air over here. Maybe slack off a bit. Won't bother you at all. How's that sound?
So, you're a messenger?
Penguin Logistics. Guaranteed success. Wanna try some Lateran candy?
Thanks. Then you can have some of this.
What is it?
Baked dough from Kazdel. Shame it's gone cold. It's really tasty when it's hot.
Well, don't mind if I do.
So, how do you know Crowny?
I probably shouldn't tell you, client confidentiality and all, but you sure you wanna listen to a Sancta story? Who knows, I might weave a web of lies to snare your soul.
Go ahead. I can tell the truth from lies. They say these Sancta are all awful and terrible, but you haven't shot me with a gun yet, and you haven't tried to cut off my horns for a trophy on your belt.
Alright. I'll start talking then. Where to begin? A few years ago, on a job in Ursus, I ran into a Sarkaz. Apparently, she couldn't stand life at home and decided to wander across the lands. By the time I met her, she had just managed to find a path she wanted to follow. Ursus has real strict control on a lot of things, so that Sarkaz needed people like us to get her the stuff she wanted.
Was Crowny a designer in Ursus?
A designer? An Ursin hiring a Sarkaz to be an assistant is already a super niche Ursin. You know, the fashion brand that hired her was actually founded by a Sarkaz, but it got so crazy popular in Ursus, most people think it's local. Even that fashion freak over there thought so at first. Anyway, she got the cold shoulder in Ursus, so after a bunch more wandering, she made her way back here.
She must have made a lot of money before she came back.
Money? Shame I have to say it, but she's barely got 2 coins to rub together. When you look at her, well, you're seeing everything she's got in a way. The silk's perfect, Mostima.
Then why is she buying cloth? I've seen where she lives, and the people around her. Maybe she's skipping meals to afford all this expensive stuff? Maybe she predicted that the furnace would explode and wanted the Revenants to latch onto the fabric? No, that doesn't make any sense.
Wowee! That sounds serious. I have no clue what you're talking about, but we should probably head on over. Come on. Need anything else, Crowny? My thanks, Mostima. You must have been through a lot coming all this way. No, just doing my job. As for future work, I would like some fabric from Sargon. I presume I will need to give all payment in advance, just as before? I mean, sure, but I don't think you'll be needing my services much longer. Whatever do you mean? Is your company changing his modus operandi? No, don't get the wrong idea here. What I mean is, this sort of stuff will be sold in Kazdel soon enough, so you won't need Penguin Logistics. Is that so? The number of caravans going in and out of Kazdel has doubled several times over. The folks at Rhode Island have also helped set up a few connections for the city. You'll probably have a place you can get important goods before long. So you're saying I will be able to sell my KAZDELIAN souvenirs?
Your what? Crystal balls, cups. You know, souvenirs you'd get on a trip. Not that different from the ones you see in other countries. They're just Kazdel themed. But who would want to go on a vacation to Kazdel? We don't really have any good sightseeing spots.
I wouldn't mind, to be honest. Walk around, see your soul furnace, roam the streets, and there's the Temple of Knowledge. That's in Kazdel, right? Shame I won't get the chance. Your idea is not bad, though. You should talk to the merchants. They might want to buy souvenirs to show off back home. I'll bear it in mind. My thanks. As for you, young Dial.
Call me Nymph.
Let us go, Madam Nymph. We should hurry on home.
Okay. Well, see you, Sancta Messenger Lady.
Ciao. If you ever need anything, remember to call Penguin Logistics. Crowny's got our contact. Shouldn't you have popped out too, suffering? Or is it Mad Bomber these days? Have you lost your mind? Coming to Kazdel just for a delivery? If you get caught by the Sarkaz, there's no way you're making it out alive. She's an old customer. Not wise to refuse a request. What? Worried about me? Supervising you is my job. We're going back, right now. Immediately. Alright. Not like there's anywhere to run in this wasteland anyway. Say, why don't we go have some fun in Kazdel for a day? Start walking. It's so hard to get through to you. Welcome to my humble abode. After an entire day of walking, Nymph and Crowny are back in front of the warehouse where they first spoke. The place that Nymph assumed the Revenant compelled Crowny to go to avoid the crowd.
She really does live here. There's a bed, a workbench, some clothes hung up, a corner full of junk. She's missing a lot of basic furniture.
When you look at her, well, you're seeing everything she's got in a way. Please, make yourself at home.
Sure. Do you need help, Crowny?
No, I can handle things on my own.
That cloth you bought is really expensive.
A mere several months worth of food. Hardly important. This place is ill-suited for a brooch. If I use this cloth to make a matching necktie or cravat... Madam Nymph!
What is it?
You wanted this brooch, did you not?
Yeah. But didn't you...
Take it. I no longer have need of it. A heavy stillness emanates from the brooch, and Nymph cannot stop herself from shivering. She quickly throws the fragment embedded jewelry into her box. This whole time, the Revenant fragments seem to have done nothing other than latch onto the brooch. No commanding strange creations, no instigating arguments in a crowd. When he was in the palm of her hand, she even felt some fury and frustration coming from him. Like...
talking to a burden beast?
Pardon?
Oh, no, it's nothing. Just a funny idea that popped into my head. Are you feeling alright, Crowny?
Thank you for your concern, but I've been fit as a fiddle this entire time.
She doesn't sound any different from earlier. Has she really recovered from it? Is there anything I can do to help? Don't hesitate to ask.
As it were, Madam Nymph, I do have a presumptuous request.
Just Nymph is fine. No need to be so formal.
Very well then, Nymph. Could you come here for a moment? Nymph looks at the clothes atop Crowny's workbench. They appear to be a suit, but not in Crowny's size.
Could you try this on?
Me?
Crowny whips out a tape measure, rapidly taking Nymph's measurements while muttering strings of numbers to herself. It should fit you. Give it a try.
Aren't these clothes really expensive? I'm scared I'll...
Don't worry, it's not finished yet.
Alright then. How do I look?
Beautiful. How is the fit? Are the cuffs too tight? Too loose? Anywhere that feels practically awkward?
No, it's a perfect fit. Are you making these clothes for a friend?
No, it's a gift to myself. This outfit's creation is my dream, but alas, I'm still unable to realize it.
I think it's pretty much perfect already.
Far from it, I'm afraid. The cuffs still need embellishment, the accessories still need matching. All in all, still rather crude. You may take it off now, Nymph. My thanks.
Oh, okay. But why would you make an outfit you can't wear?
Because its revelation gave my life direction. I wanted to distinguish my life from those of others, but I too loved the city, and so I called attention to myself through a multitude of methods, old Sarkaz tricks and all. I'm sure you understand where I'm coming from. In the end, I was driven away from Kazdel, set adrift in the wilds. I was offered menial work in Ursus. At first, it was only my survival instinct that spurred me to accept. But I found myself rather suited to deft needlework. More importantly, I obtained a designer's manuscript. A Sarkaz designer from Kazdel. Kazdel designer. Never had I thought those two words could fit together.
Were these clothes in that manuscript?
They were. It was a heavily damaged book, and much information was lost, save for a note reading for AM. And the framework of the suit. Naught else remained. Despite the damage, it provoked an emotion I had never felt before. In order to understand it, I took up tailoring alongside the crafting of many other knickknacks. As it happened, Kazdel had forgotten me by that point, and so I returned under a new identity. Kazdel has changed, just as I have. It's a more tolerant city these days. Even a stuck-out nail such as I can find a stage here.
Is that why you made stuff you can't sell?
They are souvenirs. There will come a day that Kazdel will entertain visitors from all across Terra. This I do believe. Though I am merely testing the waters on a whim, if other places can enjoy something, then why not Kazdel? We are not so different from them. It could be a suit of fashionable clothes, a set of baubles for tourists, or even a way of life, the pursuit of beauty.
You might be thinking too far ahead. I've never even dreamt of Kazdel being a tourist attraction. You're right that the city has changed lately though. There's lots of people walking around, and it's really lively these days. Completely different from before. Did you see the fireworks a few nights ago? They were so pretty. Maybe the furnace got a bit too happy and lively, and that's why it fired them off.
Nymph, what's going on?
Everything's fine on my end, Ermi. Ran into some trouble while I was trying to get the fragment, but they're all taken care of.
Good to hear. I was helping the old... aiding my master in some research on philanthropy, so I didn't catch your calls. Terribly sorry about that.
It's fine. I've covered most of the city by now. There's just one newly repaired residential district left to check. I might be finished by tomorrow, so you'd better get that reward ready.
Once you're done, come right over and it's all yours. You're a lifesaver. I'll be turning in early tonight. Goodbye.
Sure. See you soon, Ermi. Well, I won't trouble you any longer, Crowny. If anything comes up, remember to come and find me. Here's my contact.
I will. Thank you. Good night, Nymph.
Good night. so tired. I never got to eat any of that baked dough I bought this morning. I think if I warm it up once I get home, it'll taste a lot better. Paul! How did you find me?
He walked up to the city gates and flew up the walls. The information broker's been chatting about you pretty much all day.
Did you find anything?
Nope. No signs of fragment influence around the military commission garrison or settlement. You found something yourself, didn't you?
Yeah, look! The fragment I found today is super pretty. It's like a gem.
It's a piece of glass from inside a furnace, looks like. You're right though, that color is really distinctive.
The lady who gave it to me was really distinctive too. The day's been real hard on me though. I was running around all day and now I'm hungry and tired.
Go home and get some rest already. Just one residential district left to check. Gotta do all we can to get everything wrapped up tomorrow.
Alright.
Damn, you're so tired you nearly smacked your head against the wall. Fine, I'll walk you home. Don't fall asleep just yet. Tell me about this distinctive lady you met.
Sure. I went to the market this morning to buy some baked dough, which smelled real nice.
Alright then. First off, I need some more of this character in my life. Also, this character is so detailedly designed that this has to be... This design is way too clean to not be like someone who will be probably like 2 years in a NPC jail. But this is definitely a character that is going to be playable at some point. Too detailed. And implications about certain things around the character are a very given point that she will somehow, somewhere become a operative for Rhode Island. Plus, I don't know what she's supposed to be, what Sarkaz race she's supposed to be. At first glance I was thinking vampire, but then she also has horns, and I'm kind of struggling to remember, was there a vampire with horns so far? I don't think there were. They only have like the typical fangs and pointy ears. So I'm not sure what she's supposed to be, but she's giving me vampire vibes, and that's mostly down to the attire. Also, she reminds me of Tuxedo Mask. Anyway, we'll see if she becomes playable. Now the other thing. Musty might Fiametta were not on my bingo card. Those two were not on my bingo card, and damn, Mostima, despite the fact I understand her bullshittery with yeah, she's doing business for Penguin Logistics, yada yada yada, but you can't fool me, you little blue dingus. I know that you're there because you want to peek into Kazdel. You cannot fool me. But then again, she does take her Penguin logistics stuff seriously, even though she is a bit of a laid-back person. I do love that the two of them were there, even if it was for a brief moment. Now the other thing, and this didn't occur to me originally on the read-through. I don't know if it's gonna be worth putting it as a clip, because I was just mumbling around it, what it could mean. But originally I was thinking like, because she was talking that she found like essentially a book with designs, a really old and tattered one, and that the suit, because it was said it's a suit, I was like, okay, for who? And because the two first letters were A and M, my immediate thought was Ama 10, but who would write Ama 10 in a designer book unless they know Kaltz's full, full background and shit like that. But then again, pretty rare people do call her Ama 10. It's usually entities that are kind of as old as she is, or at least old. But everybody usually just calls her Kaltzit. So I was like, for Kazdel? I mean, she was wearing a suit at one point, that's why I was thinking at it. Just a reminder to her personal story and that little sub-story in Victoria. But it clicked with me while I was going again through the scene when I was actually... it literally clicked with me when I was doing the actual recording for the scene, when I was rereading it essentially like for the 5th time, that the tethered book is probably Theresa's old tailoring notes that have resurfaced somewhere, and the design was for Amia. Now, why a suit specifically is very interesting. Maybe it's a mistranslation. Maybe it isn't. Maybe she did design a suit for Amia, like an actual suit. But yeah, which would again make sense. Because Nymph here is pretty small, is on pretty much the small side, and it would also make sense because Crowny here was saying that she felt immediately inspired by the book the moment she had her hands on it and started going through the designs in it. And pretty rare, Sarkaz actually knew that she was a tailor in her younger days. So it makes sense. If she found the book and started going through it and immediately had that feeling of inspiration, I mean, it makes sense. It was from Theresa. There's probably something lingering in there that the Sarkaz are subconsciously recognizing. So that's kind of huge. So that's kind of huge. This woman is essentially keeping her tailoring life alive in a sense. This seems small, but at the same time is such a huge little thing that potentially, if what I'm thinking is true, this woman is essentially keeping her tailoring legacy alive, keeping her tailoring dream alive. That's really big, and just gives me a tiny bit of happiness. Don't you agree? But yeah, anyway, that's my thoughts on that. I will leave you guys now to the clips. Not that many. Most of them are from literally, I think it's literally just gonna be the clips from the Mostima bullshit. And that's probably gonna be it, but I'll see about that when I start editing this together right now. But yeah, thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed. If you did so, please consider leaving a like. The last part for this, by the way, will be out probably Thursday or Friday on the same, like a day or on the same day as IS5 is gonna be available. So keep a lookout for that. We're gonna finish that pretty much in time for that release. And yeah, like I said, please consider leaving a like if you enjoyed this. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing, or if you want to support me even more directly and my work that I'm doing here for the Arknights, you can do so through memberships. Those help a ton. And yeah, thank you for the members who are already there and supporting. You guys do a lot. Thank you very much. And yeah, I will see you all in the next one. Until then, bye-bye.
Once I'm done with this job and I get my reward from Ermi, I'll go have a look at her stall.
Uh-huh. Oh. He just keeps appearing. He's so lost. Oh my god. Her fucking detector is gonna react to him, isn't it? Oh no. I did not think about this. It's reacting to Revenants, and he's a Revenant. Oh my god, please.
Hypnosis, mental suggestion, originium arts. Maybe I could snatch it away.
Hello, young lady. Did you need me for something?
Sorry, let me...
You idiot. Open your eyes.
Sorry, let me think a bit longer.
Very good, ma'am.
What is she supposed to be? She gonna be a vampire? She definitely has the vampire flair to her. I mean, with that outfit. A lot of fabric everywhere. Even that little button on her cape like down at the end, gold yellow, gold red one. It looks like a spool of fabric.
Hello.
What is that name? Crowny Mantel? Elegance extraordinaire? Hello, Tuxedo Masks. How's it going? Where's Sailor Moon? What is that cane? Oh, she's definitely a vampire. That thing looks like some sort of blood extractor. Nymph watches as Crowny opens her own box, drawing out a hang glider from the depths within. Who the fuck is this woman? One hand grips the cane hooked onto the glider's frame. Is this Mary Poppins? Who the hell is... While the other holds the box tight. With her characteristic ramrod straight figure dangling from... She's literally Mary Poppins. Dangling from the glider, she swoops off into the distance. In the distance, Crowny takes a deep breath, then yells a strange incantation. Huh? Come on out, suffering?
Suffering? Is that some kind of incantation?
No, she's calling an animal or some shit? A beast lord? Suffering. God. It might
be a name of a Sarkaz king.
Sure. Would fit.
It wouldn't be strange for an ancient king to
Have a name like that. Just shut up, I said that. If you insist, old buddy. Oh. An actual person. Oh my god. What? Wait. What are you doing here? I like that they didn't even try. They didn't even try to acknowledge it and put her name down as suffering. They just went with Mostima, because screw it, right? What the hell? Okay, I'm guessing she's here for some kind of mission. Who is that woman then? Who is she working for? Is she working for... I don't know. She wouldn't work for Laterano. I guess. Maybe? I don't know. Maybe she is? But on the inside? Alright. I completely forgot as well. Cecilia was supposed to... Well, she was asking to go to Kazdel. Right, I forgot about that. Maybe this has something to do with Cecilia. Anyway. Ciao. If you ever need anything, remember to call Penguin Logistics. Crowny's got our contact. Shouldn't you have... Oh, it didn't even register. She didn't call Mostima by suffering. Oh my god! Of course she's here. Of course she's here. Shouldn't you have popped out too, suffering? Or is it Mad Bomber these days? Oh my god. Have you lost your mind? Coming to Kazdel just for a delivery? If you get caught by the Sarkaz, there's no way you're making it out alive. She's an old customer. Not wise to refuse a request. What, worried about me? Supervising you is my job. We're going back right now, immediately. Alright. Not like there's anything to run. Not like there's anywhere to run in this wasteland anyway. Say, why don't we go have some fun in Kazdel for a day? Holy hell. Artillery ready. You're not going anywhere. But home. Start walking. It's so hard to get through to you. Okay, that was great. What the hell? those were two people I did not expect to see here.